Okay, terrific. So I'd like to welcome everybody to the Historic Commission. Tonight is Thursday, April 4th, 2024. I see that we have Chair Walsh on and Vice Chair Alnardi on, along with the three commissioners here. That makes five. Meets our requirement for four as a quorum. Just for people that are presenting tonight, you need four yeses out of the five. You need at least four yeses for your proposal to pass. So when we'll follow the agenda. We ask you to come up. We'll ask you to take a seat, state your name and address, and then what the project is. Do I need to take official roll call?
I would do it just for the
Great.
for the record.
So for the record, Chairman Walsh is present or here is
Present here.
awesome. Commissioner Nardi,
Present.
thank you. Commissioner Kroll,
Yes. I'm here.
awesome. Commissioner Zorzi, and Commissioner Kroll myself here as well. Okay. I'd like to, since we do have minutes from the February 15th meeting and the March 21st meeting. So you're gonna take these together, Elmer?
I would do it separately.
Great. So I'd like to get a motion to accept the February 15th, 2024 minutes into the record.
So moved.
Second.
Bidding so.
He did.
Thank you. Any discussion on the minutes from the 15th?
None here.
Okay. Commissioner Walsh, on accepting the minutes.
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Zorzi. Same, you, and Commissioner Kroll is yes. Okay, so the minutes of the 15th are in. We also have the minutes of March 21st. You've had a chance to review those. I'm entertaining a motion to accept the minutes of the March 21st meeting.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of the March meeting.
Okay, any discussion on minutes?
Yes.
Here now, I'll take the vote, Commissioner Walsh.
I didn't hear that
Yeah.
one though.
We're
Did you have a
Voting.
discussion on the minutes?
No.
right, so we're voting on the minutes. So
Got it.
Your vote is
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Zorzi.
Yeah.
And Commissioner Kroll is yes as well. So thank you. So we have the minutes for the 15th for February and the 21st of March. So thank you for that. First item is 9197 Chestnut Street. And that's going,
The Springfield Museums, they've been told that they want to postpone to the next meeting. They'll
Okay.
have enough time frame for that.
and we have enough time for that. So I would entertain a motion to continue.
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, any discussion on the motion to continue? Okay, hearing none, I will take the vote. Commissioner Wall,
Yes.
Bernardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Dorothy?
Yeah.
And myself is yes as well. So that's moved to the next meeting, which is going to be, when is our next meeting?
Say 18.
Thank you. Can you guys hear us okay online? I'll make sure that it's loud enough for you.
Yeah, mostly we can. It's just every now and then it gets a little mumbly, but you're doing great. It's not too bad.
Okay, 1105 Worthington Street. Let's see,
I was told that the petitioner would be here, but I don't know if you want to just come back to it.
okay, we'll just come back to it. 208 Belmont Avenue, that's gonna be a continued item as well, I understand?
That will be continued as well. We did get in touch with the petitioner. They will send in a letter of extension.
Okay, great. So I'd entertain a motion to continue on 208 Belmont Ave.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on continuing 208 Belmont? Hearing none, I'll take the vote on that. Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Worthy,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cole, yeah. Wow, this is going great, isn't this going great? This is great. 134 Buckingham Street, I understand this is gonna be a continued item as well.
That's correct.
Okay, and we looked and there's still plenty of time on this, so we don't have to worry about it timing out, right? Okay, so I'd entertain a motion to continue 134 Buckingham Street to the next meeting on April 18th.
So moved.
Second.
Ready? Okay, Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Lissy, Commissioner Zorzi.
Yes.
And then myself, yes, thank you. Okay, we go to our new public hearings. 65 Sumner Avenue. The folks for that can come forward, state your name and address for the record, and go ahead, Friday.
I'm James Field, with Caleb and Beanick Architects.
Doug Garrigan, Springfield Public Schools.
Excellent.
I think if you enable editing, yeah, top there. It should give you the option to show you that ribbon. Actually, it's still on that right Zoom. It's behind, so if you move the bar, if you move the ribbon there with all that down, slide chart. A lot of PowerPoint,
I get that.
a lot of Zoom too.
Yeah, the slideshow is on from the beginning.
All right, Vinny, Al, you guys can see?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. So, the city intends to renovate the former Friendly's Ice Cream Restaurant to serve as a new public preschool. It will contain 3 classrooms. The plan is to move, on the other side of this building that, Sumner Ave Elementary School is directly adjacent, and then there's a preschool in, I think it was like a.
Former Schneider's Market.
Yeah.
So that's where the preschool is now, when this building is complete in the fall. 3 classrooms of preschool students will be here instead. And then they're gonna turn the, old Snyder's Market into a base for the virgin school. That's the plan. So as part of the renovation, the property will be connected to the adjacent Sumner Avenue Elementary School to create a cohesive school campus. Per the Forest Park Heights Historic Commission guidelines, in the event of remodeling or new construction of commercial buildings, the commission will be concerned with building scale, setback, parking, fencing, and sign. So that's what I focused on here. You can go to the next slide, please. So here's a side-by-side of existing and proposed. In terms of the building scale, we're not changing the building scale at all. It's mostly an interior renovation. I'll get to what we're doing with the exterior of the building in a moment. As far as setback, again, we're not moving the building, we're not adding any additions, so we're not changing the setback. So for parking, we are proposing to revise the existing parking lot in order to connect the new preschool building to the rest of the Sumner Avenue Elementary campus, and to provide improved vehicular and pedestrian circulation throughout the site.
I might jump in real quick. Yeah, I think as many of you know, if you're familiar with the area, there's long been a challenge with regard to the drop off of students, particularly with the extremely busy Sumner Avenue. So I think that, you know, helping to mitigate the risks and the challenges is what's motivated this parking lot improvement. Purely a safety endeavor.
Parking will be reduced by 8 spaces across the campus in order to create new vehicular connections and pedestrian connections. In the area presented on screen, the existing number of parking spaces was 92, and it's reduced to 84. There are also some additional parking spaces on the other side of the building, but focused just on this side of the premise side.
Where the project works.
Yeah, where the project works. So basically, we've got some vehicular connections that are, you know, we've had to delete some parking spaces in order to make that happen and to get some better circulation. So, as far as fencing goes, we're proposing to remove the existing chain link fence separating the new preschool from the existing Sumner Avenue school. Removal of the fencing will help to facilitate a cohesive school campus and provide for improved vehicular and pedestrian circulation. A new 42-inch high aluminum fence is proposed to surround the proposed preschool play area. So that's the area directly behind the building there. So 42-inch high aluminum fence around that play area is what we're proposing. And the last thing regarding fencing, there was an existing dumpster enclosure in the back, so we're modifying that. There was a crumbling masonry enclosure around the dumpster area, and we're proposing to replace that with a chain fence.
I want to add that a large portion of that, if there is a structure, we would call that a structure. The structure that was there was an enclosure, which I believe the Friendlies organization used to house maybe grease, the grease receptacle. That is in fact staying. It's been cleaned and condition improved to house a snow blower or outside equipment for the pre-K operation. That is not changing. It's simply the masonry, the enclosure around it, which was an important issue.
Lastly, signs. So at the front of the building, you can see where I've written demo and replace existing sign. That's the location along Sumner Ave. If you can go to the next slide, please. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, excellent. There you go.
So the existing sign on the left, and what we're proposing is very similar to what was done at Valiette Preschool. It's a 4 foot by 4 foot sign with 6-inch square posts. We think it's much more appropriate to the scale of the school. We don't need like a big restaurant sign out front. So that's what we're proposing in terms of signage. The rest of the slides are sort of a side-by-side rendering of the existing school versus what is proposed. So you can go through these at your leisure, and I'll just kind of read off what the proposed work is. In terms of roofing, the roof profiles are not going to be changed. All the asphalt shingle and membrane roofing will be replaced in kind. The existing cupola, which was rotting, is proposed to be replaced in kind. All siding shall be painted and repaired, replaced in kind as required. Any trim that's been damaged is proposed to be replaced in kind. Existing trim painted, and all new trim shall be fiber cement and painted. Windows, all the existing windows should be replaced with new aluminum windows. Wherever possible, the size of the window openings shall remain the same. However, new window openings are required at the rear of the building in order to provide daylight to one of the proposed classrooms. The original windows were fixed, so the proposed window style has been altered in a way that allows for operability for fresh air in the classrooms. In terms of doors, the main entrance storefront shall be replaced in kind. One storefront door on the east elevation shall be replaced with a new classroom window. A new storefront door shall be added on the west elevation for a second means of egress from the corridor. And a new storefront door shall be added in the locations of the existing hollow metal door from the south elevation to allow direct access from classroom 1 and 2 to the proposed play area rear of the building. In terms of awnings, a new canvas awning is proposed above the main entrance to replace the overhang awning. The electric meters located in the back of the building, out of sight from any public way, no satellite dishes proposed. Nothing, that's all I have.
Okay, just for point of order for those here, so that as far as the historic commission focus and purview is Commissioner Walsh likes to talk about it is what can be seen from the street or a public way. So we love hearing about the project, but it's really whatever changes you're gonna make that can be seen from a public way, which in this case would primarily be Sumner Avenue, right?
And Eastwood.
And Eastwood on the side. Yep. Just so that everybody's kind of on the same page of what the historic commission will be looking at. Any questions from commissioners? Commissioner Walsh or Commissioner Nardi online?
Well, Commissioner Nardi's first. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to make a couple comments and questions. So it looked from the rendering, you plan to wash down the brick, all that dirt?
Yes, we've specified a brick cleaning, masonry cleaning once all the work is complete.
Now, in this particular one that you have up, it looks pretty nice where you had just a utility door and now you're seeing some activity of the children through the glass, so that looks pretty nice to me. I do have a question on your site plan. I think you did a great job of alleviating some of the problems of the drop off on the street because can really be a mess out there. But I did not notice, and maybe you just haven't gone that far detail wise yet, any new shade trees for the play yard. I'm presuming you'll have to do that.
So yeah, I have not shown the proposed landscaping on this drawing.
Right. Which brings me to my real question. Is there anything new that's happening in the front that you know of? New trees or hedges or whatnot?
I believe we were gonna get rid of. So there's a nice big tree out front that's staying. There were some shrubs that are being removed.
I think, from what I understand of the project direction, the large tree in the front is remaining. By and large, strictly maintenance in the front at this point in time. I think our core focus has been the structural, has been the, getting this facility, under renovation, in hopes of getting it operational. I know the school department is badly in need of additional pre-K space, as is the neighborhood. The universal pre-K program, while beautiful, that has definitely placed a lot of burden and a lot of requirement on a lot of need for these spaces. So I think our intent was to leave as much of that shrubbery, as we could possibly leave in place on the front. However, to trim it back, to maintain it in such a way that it looks presentable and allow for the project to coincide.
It does not look like that.
That was largely overgrown from multiple years of no maintenance.
Yeah.
So we did the shrubbery back.
Yeah, I asked a question because it's part of the streetscape of the neighborhood. And the nursery school is gonna want those things cut down anyways for security because very easy to hide behind something that's overgrown and start peeking into the windows.
You're very correct,
So
sir.
that's good. I thought I had one other question, but I don't remember. Commissioner Walsh, you had something?
Well, no, not a question, just a comment. I think it's a appropriate reuse of a building that's been sitting doing nothing for a while. And nothing sticks out to me like it would be questionable at all.
Oh, I remember my question. You,
There you go.
you've got some, you've got a couple of perfectly angled walls in the back for south exposure. Are they planning any solar panels in the back system, on the back roof?
So we would have to modify the structure in order to add solar to this particular roof. That's not planned at this time.
Okay,
Good,
that's all I
Commissioner,
have.
great. Anything in play? Good? Commissioner, good? Okay, we'll take, public comment. Anyone that wishes to speak for or against, this project? Please rise, state your name for the record, please.
Hi, I'm Kathy Post. I'm in a butter, and I'm really happy to see things happening there. I know that the landscaping around the property got really neglected during the time before the city bought it and actually since the city bought it. The strip of, small strip of dirt between the parking lot on the east side and Beechwood Avenue. There were several ornamental trees there. Some of them have gotten into pretty bad shape. Are you thinking about including some trees there as well?
We certainly can. I think our plan was regarding that particular area was to clean up, just to maintain what was there, to have them help either our forestry department do it or have our landscaping contractor when they come through or perform maintenance on those trees at the appropriate time of year in the appropriate way. I think that's what we're thinking now. Certainly, if there was public request to add an ornamental tree or replace one that maybe was there before and is missing, we would certainly consider it. It had not occurred to us at this point.
Yeah, so you can see two healthy ones there. I'm not sure they're still.
One was in
healthy.
pretty rough shape.
Yeah.
I do recall one being pretty tough, and I think it may have been hit at one point.
Yeah, and I'm wondering whether that we could actually be looking at something more like a shade tree along there. Because it's a lot of asphalt and it is a bit of a heat island with the streets there and everything else. And the other thing is there's enormous amounts of trash that blow on the street. And I don't know if you can do anything with trash receptacles. Some of it comes from the apartments. Some of it.
I apologize, we gotta keep it to the exterior of the
Oh, okay.
building.
All
I
right.
mean, if you wanna have a conversation with them,
I will.
they're.
So that,
Yes, we could do that.
and you didn't answer, you actually didn't answer the question, or are you for or against?
I'm for it.
Great,
Yeah, I'm
thank you,
for it.
we appreciate your comments.
Good.
Sir.
Thank you, Alvin.
Harry Seymour, I'm with Forest Park Civic Association. I'm also a very interested party because my grandson goes to school in the elementary school there. I would ask just one question, which is in these days, when you're thinking about architecture and building in schools, right? What are and I don't know how much of the architecture relates to this, but what about security? What are the issues that you deal with as an architect when you're talking about security in the school these days?
Sure. Can I speak from the school perspective or the architect? You from the school perspective or from the architect perspective?
Yeah, again, this is more focused more against the changes. I'm sorry. I'm
So
sorry.
again, we can't get into policies
Right,
tonight, so.
Yeah.
Great, well, we can't have an interaction on a policy of security, it's, again, the historic commission's policy has been, are you for or against, and you're certainly welcome to speak to them afterwards on.
I'm for it. I hope it's going to be
Awesome.
secure in today's standards.
I'll be happy to sign up.
Okay,
Thank you. Anyone else that wishes to speak for or against? Okay, hearing none, I entertain a motion, from a commissioner to accept 65 Sumner Ave, renovations as outlined in the application.
So moved.
Okay, thank you. We have a first and a second. Any other discussion on the proposal? Hearing none, I would go for the vote, Commissioner Wall,
You're muted.
When I did it, I thought I had it. Yes. All in.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes,
thank you, Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Zorzi,
Yes.
and Commissioner Kroll is yes. Hey, gentlemen, thank you, you're all set.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is, 54 Buckingham Street. I want to speak on behalf of 54 Buckingham. Awesome, welcome. Thank you.
You wanna come up and give
My name is Geraldine Brown. Buckingham Street.
My name is contractor. Great, awesome. Okay, so tell us about your project.
Well, basically, it needs some repair work done on the fourth. And we have some drawings there.
Mainly the front porch.
Yeah.
Right side or left side of the porch is in some rough shape. And we're trying to maintain and restore the majority of the front porch, as far as Buckingham Street goes. Looking at the, I don't know if you can see the left side of the porch. It's been missing a railing for quite some time.
Yeah, there we go.
The columns are coming down, lack of footings, the old brick is just crumbling underneath the porch. So our, proposal is to get new footings underneath the porch, stabilize it. Plan on putting, it looks like the deck boards that are on there were added. They're not original.
Nope.
Because they're not tongue and groove, they're not cedar, they're just 1x planks is all they are. So, what we'd like to do is get under there, get it stabilized with new footings. We're obviously gonna have to put, new structure underneath as far as framing goes, where you're not gonna be seeing it, but it's gonna function as far as code goes. And then, mirroring the railing where it's missing a whole railing on this side, with the railings that are on front of the porch. So that way it matches, and all that can be milled, we can mill that in our shop, so that way it matches to the era of what the front is. So basically, the whole left side is missing railing. Guardrail. Yeah, and I mean, you can see the whole top of the roof is just falling, it's coming. So, we're gonna have to get new supports, and we'll mirror the existing, supports to the new ones. The biggest thing is getting footings under that porch, just like all the porches in the city. I mean, they're all either crumbling brick or just a pipe. And with this one, it's just dust, all the brick is just turning to dust. So we need to get proper footings put under it. And in the back right there, as you can see up on the picture, looks like there used to be masonry stairs with a landing. Our proposal is to get that out of there completely and just frame her out a landing with a proper railing. Which you can't see from the curb appeal, but you may end up seeing from the house behind us, or not the house, but I think there's a street back there. But I mean, it's a good distance from that street. I don't know if you want us to put back brick like it was, or if we can go with just regular Class A material, handrails and spindles, wood that can just be stained. Because it's not, like I said, it's not seen from the street, but it may be seen from.
Yeah, in public way, so it could be from the street back. So it would have to be from the front of Buckingham.
Yeah.
Adjacent street.
Okay.
That's really what rules, Okay, so if we can maybe talk about, can we look right there, please, Al, that's with the front porch, so can we take the front porch first, maybe on, so the front porch is gonna be, the spindles are gonna model
The front.
what was already there, which is square with the detail, right, and the material's gonna be,
So as far as the deck boards go, we're gonna do the cedar, tongue and groove, 1x4 boards.
Yeah.
In order to do that, we're going to definitely have to frame out that whole floor to
Yeah.
accept that.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to frame it out according to the way it was framed out back in the day, because I mean, it's not gonna function as far as code goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're not gonna get rid of those 1x planks that are on there, because those are not original. As far as down below, they got shakes, wooden shakes, dressing up the bottom, so we're gonna mirror that right around, because there is none on the bottom. Looks like it was excavated at one time, someone tore it all out, so we'll mirror the front. As far as the guardrails go and the bottom skirt there. And that's just cedar, planks is all that is, shakes, and we'll just carry that right along the side.
Yeah, but the front, the supporting post entrances, the model
Yep,
was
yep.
last.
So this, yeah,
Square
exactly.
posts with the fluted.
So the ones that are on the decayed side there, they're not rotted, they're just collapsing due to no more footings. So they are giving way. So we can salvage the actual columns. Like I said, they're not rotted out, it's coming down to, eventually, they're just falling off.
Yep.
I mean, somebody tried stabilizing some brick, but it's just not the way to do it.
Yep.
You're not gonna see the footings once we put that skirt on the bottom anyways. And those will all be, put into the building code, 12-inch diameter footings, 12 feet down.
Yep. And the railings that are missing along the front.
Yep, so they're gonna mirror the front. We're gonna rebuild those in our shop, which will mirror the front, all the same heights and look like it always was.
Great, so it'll have the cupped.
Yep,
Yeah,
we're gonna take a
right,
few of those off, and we're gonna redo them in our shop.
Yep.
Spend some time redoing them, and restore it the way it was.
And then the actual stairs to the porch.
So we're not sure what they had there, if they had granite slab, I mean, you do have granite in the front, there is one stone in the front. So as far as the steps go on the side, do you want us to put another block down? Because we're gonna have to do a black bar, kind of like what you got in the front.
Pipe railing.
You got a pipe rail, black bar, we're gonna have to do the same thing on the side. I mean, because you're definitely gonna see that.
Typically pipe rail, the black pipe rails.
So we ain't gonna do any spindles, any of that. Those front steps, it looks like that was skim coated with some concrete, and that's obviously not original. We weren't planning on changing those, but we definitely gotta put something over there that is going to mirror the error. And I'm thinking it's gonna be a granite slab, 2 steps. That is my plan.
Commissioner Walsh, any questions?
Do you have the original, Alvin, can you put up the original picture of the house in the 1930s?
Alvin can do anything. He's the amazing Alvin.
Alvin is,
Watch. You're gonna see the 1939 photo, watch. See, I told you.
there. Can you just zoom in on that, please? And then just what I'm getting at is what is underneath is not, how that there might be a more historically correct way and maybe even easier to do
Lattice.
the lattice underneath.
My question was exactly the same.
Originally it had lattice, they probably put the cedar shakes.
So, yeah, and if you look at a lot of the other houses across the street, they are exactly like that.
Yep.
So it looks like somebody just covered everything up years ago.
Yeah.
Been
I
what
mean,
they-
We can duplicate that if you want me to, we're gonna be spending time doing that, but we could definitely bring that back versus just slapping shakes on the side.
no, that would, if you, a more appropriate, restoration would have lattice, in the same, design underneath. But that was my only question. Everything else, you tongue and groove, you're keeping the columns, you're gonna restore the railings, pipe rail on the, so I don't have any other questions yet, so go ahead.
Commissioner Hardy?
Yeah, my question was the same because I remember hearing about the new concrete footings and then it brought me to a lattice or not. And I'm glad to hear that the lattice to match that photograph that we're looking at right now is what's going up. What they did to that porch by closing it up prior, closing that lattice up, is they allowed that porch not to be ventilated. So opening it all up will help the situation.
Yeah, no bending.
Yeah, so we can definitely bring it back, and you're not gonna, even if we do it like that, you're not gonna see the footings either, but the footings are in the center of the building.
So you would, for the bottom skirt, it would not be shapes.
Yeah, so we'll end up having,
acceptable to just doing a wood lattice.
yeah, so we'll end up pulling all of the shakes off the front then, that way we can mirror everything the same, and bring the porch back to the way it was.
Very good.
Anything?
Yeah. In that photo, it looks like the lattice comes up in a few places and it looks like it's.
Like the rose trellis is on
Yeah.
the side of the
Yes,
column on the
yeah.
left there.
Are those going to be replaced?
They're not there now. There is one on the far left, but it looks like someone just scabbed it together years ago. It doesn't look like that. We can definitely put those on if you want those on. It looks like it's on, 2 columns there. Or it could be on the other 2 going back. They're not on the front. I mean, that wasn't part of the plan, but I mean,
Didn't really even know if they were original, you know, on that.
Commissioner Walsh, you have something on that?
Yeah, just, those are usually an addition that isn't part of the original structure. They were put there for a specific reason at the time. And if the reason doesn't exist, I don't know that those would have to be duplicated anyways.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And if you wanted a viney plant,
Yeah.
plant, you would use that.
planning.
Yeah, planting, yeah. But
I think the biggest thing is just salvaging what was there and restoring it, you know, and bringing it back, so we're not condemning it and
absolutely, yeah.
getting rid of the beauty, you know?
Okay, so we're good on site. Commissioner Walsh, Commissioner Nardi, you guys are good?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
So what was the plan for the back, if you go back to that back picture,
Whether to get rid of the.
whether or not
staff.
well, no, on the back of the house, what you're doing? Did you want brick masonry put back, or can we build that, or just class A, back,
You gotta-
not here, backside of the house, yep, right. There you
Couple more.
go.
No.
Did you guys get to this portion here?
No, back.
Oh, yeah, but
I think that's the back.
No,
no, this is,
No, that's
this is
side.
the side, but towards the rear,
that was obviously closed in, that's not original.
but you guys aren't gonna create any,
So we're gonna have to, because there's a door there now, so we're gonna have to put a step there with a bar, because you're gonna see that from Buckingham.
Yep.
You know, so that's gonna be like the steps on the side of the front porch.
are you gonna be allowed to put a step at a door? Or you're gonna need a landing out there?
So that picture's actually deceiving. It's only like 12 inches off the ground.
No.
It's
No, I meant in a residential code, does it allow you to step down at the door?
Yep, so we're gonna have to frame out a landing and put one step. So. See, that was a porch at one time. You can tell that was a porch. So I don't know what you wanna do there, if you wanna frame out a class A material or put masonry back. Because there was never nothing there.
I mean, the preferred finish is something that's gonna look like what was
The
there
front of the
originally.
house, yeah.
And if it's not, then it should kind of look like it was.
You don't have,
And it certainly, it should conflict with what you see from the front porch.
yeah. So we're gonna have to kind of mirror the steps that are on the front.
Vinny, you gonna say something?
No, I'm thinking about there was another picture of,
Yep.
of a back door and some back, it looked like, almost like block.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't have been
that-
that rare, this one, that block would not have been a normal fixture for the time. So I was, you know, these other, that side door and this door,
Oh, 'cause you can
just
see-
something that mimics, just has to mimic the age with the and the appropriate material, and I'd be okay with it. But that, I'm seeing cement block there, which that was not at when that house was built. That's not what they put in the back for the back porch. Somebody did that after. So
And that's our plan, is to get rid of that altogether. Just
Right.
clean up the site, and I mean, you can see the original bar that's on the house.
Yeah.
The handrail.
So I mean, I'd be looking for something that, you know, mimics
Front.
the area. I mean, the age appropriate look for both of those
If
doors.
you're in the front, I mean, that kind of checks the box.
I could mirror the front with the same materials the flooring goes. We could do the lattice on the bottom for the skirting, so you don't see the footings. We could do the same guardrails with the same look as the front spindles.
I think that would be okay.
Then you wouldn't have an issue with the neighboring street,
Correct.
because they
Right.
tend to see that.
Yep.
Could mirror the front.
So the rear porch, is it gonna have a landing? Like the
Yeah,
front
yeah.
will have a,
Yeah, you definitely gonna have a landing and one set of stairs coming down where that grab rail is on the house.
and is it gonna come straight out, or is it gonna come to the right?
So
along
it's gonna
the-
go, or it's gonna go to the left or be,
Yep.
you know, right left.
Okay,
So it's only gonna one set of stairs going out where the guardrail is. Or handrail on the house.
so
It's
the
not
finish
big.
was models, what's in the front, which is,
Yes, yep, cedar
Right.
deckboards, the same skirting around the
yeah,
bottom,
lattice around the
the
bottom,
same spindles that are on the front.
And that would be in the
And
rear-
at the same
the
time.
rear and the side.
And the side.
The small one, little,
Yep,
right,
yep.
okay, okay.
The side, entrance, yep.
Yeah, that little,
Used to be a porch.
right, you can see the other side of it.
Oh, you can tell right away. It used to be a porch. It was never extended.
Okay. Any other discussion on this? Hearing none from commissioners, I would open up to public comment. Does anyone want to speak for or against this project at 54 Buckingham Street?
I'm Gary Seymour, 68 Washington Road, and I would just like to say that I support this project, and I think it sounds like you're so cooperative about making this look like it was originally. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you, Aaron. Anyone else speak for or against? Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion for support for the work at 54 Buckingham Street. For what we have on the application, along with the addition of wood lattice along the bottom front skirts, along with the side porch and the rear porch. The side and the rear porch to also have the same finishes in the front with wood tongue and group siding and the appropriate finish steps.
So moved.
Second,
You good? Any discussion on the motion?
I was just wondering if did we get enough of the detail? I think you did. I'm just trying to think if we covered all the detail. Because a lot of the things that that he's agreed to change. So you've got the lattice, you got the two landings in the back going to be duplicated. I think we got it good. So no, I'm good.
Tongue and groove
It's-
flooring
Tongue and
part of
groove,
the-
that's right.
and all the railings in the front to mimic what's there.
and they're gonna mimic the side and the back.
Okay. Thank you for
The-
clarification.
Pipe
I-
rail.
I'm- Isn't it true that the discussion and the answers just prior to this vote is part of the vote? No, the answers we just heard
Right.
is part of what we are voting on. Okay.
Yes. I can restate it.
No, I,
I'm
I,
good.
I'm
I'm
just,
okay.
yeah, I'm just being clear that
Yeah.
those details are already part of the minutes.
That was part of the discussion, part of what's been agreed to by the homeowner and the contractor.
Yeah.
We just to restate it for the record to make sure that all of those items were clearly in.
Yes. Thank you.
Appreciate the detail. Any other discussion on the motion? Hear none of,
Oh, I'm sorry, one thing to add.
Sure.
The height of the rails, what's the current height in the front?
Current height in the front on that front porch is only about 26 inches.
Okay, so anything that you put in the rear would also be
Yep.
26 inches.
So the back, and as far as the side goes, you're just gonna have one metal block coming down on that side porch.
Okay.
But everything's gonna mirror the front. So far as the lattice goes and the height of the guardrails.
All right, I just wanted that for the record.
makes sense. Okay, any other discussion? Yeah, I'll call for the vote, Commissioner Wall,
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
thank you, Commissioner Kroll with a C,
Yes.
Commissioner Dorsey.
Yeah.
And I'm yes as well. Thank you, good luck with your project, great job on all the materials.
Anytime.
Yeah, good luck with your project.
He wrote me here.
I know.
Sorry.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank
Before we go to other matters, we still have 1105 Worthington Street to resolve. And I'm not sure if anyone's here to petition for that. If not, I think they have enough time.
Yeah.
Mr. Gaby provide a, what an extension.
Yes, so he is going to be sending us a letter of extension, via email later this meeting. He did indicate that he would try to be in person now, so I've not received that letter. And we make that, we get that in the email, so I'll follow up with him.
So we only have one other meeting, so it's up to you guys whether or not you wanna render a decision and have them reapply, or.
What would we typically do as far as policy goes, so they would want,
Typically, if we only have one other meeting, usually you render a decision and then have them, and give them the caveat that they can reapply with the same application.
okay,
Because again, if we don't have a forum for the next
Yep.
meeting, then
Yep.
essentially.
Yep. so as of now, he hasn't.
He has
presented
not,
a
he
letter of
has, no, he
extension.
has not sent that yet.
So it would time out,
Beyond the next meeting.
so April 18th is the next meeting with time out after that, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
But so what we're saying though is if we don't have a quorum, then he gets to.
It would pass by default, if
Right.
for some reason the petitioner didn't email his
Right.
extension today or by the next meeting, and for some reason we didn't have a quorum at the next meeting, the application would pass by default, correct?
Yeah, give me just a moment, let me just check my email. Just in case.
Do we need to deny the application so that it?
That's what we're
gets
checking, it's,
So we're gonna see if he,
If he's requested, if he has the email from him now. if he's
That's what he's
requested
looking at, to see
Extension,
if
we
he's
can
got
just we can just extend it. Yeah.
okay, we have an extension letter that was sent to Alvin, so we have a 30-day extension letter, so we should be.
So make a motion to extend for 30 days.
So
So-
moved.
second. Al,
That's a double second.
that's a double second.
Was that a quadruple?
Got like a 3-pointer in the meeting notes here?
Well, he did, did everyone vote on the, before Buckingham Street? I just wanna make sure that we have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you know.
It's unanimous, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so vote to continue for 11:05. We have a first and a second. Any other discussion on that? Okay. Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes,
Commissioner Crowell,
Yes.
Commissioner Zorzi.
Yeah.
And Commissioner Fulch, yes. So that will be continued. Okay, other items properly before the commission. Community Preservation Act, historic determinations, project reviews. Colony Hills, LHD, requesting funds for restoration of deteriorated lampposts. Good evening.
My name is David Miller, and I'm the president of the Colony Hills Neighborhood Association. And I live in Long Meadow, 68 East Greenwich Road. As you, I'm sure, are aware, the Colony Hills Neighborhood Association encompasses a property that's in both Long Meadow and in Springfield. This was an organization that was started in 1921 at the behest of some people in Springfield who were concerned about the urbanization of some of the more desirable neighborhoods in Springfield, and they wanted to have an area that they hoped to be able to protect it from development into multifamily homes and that sort of thing. In 1923, the project was begun, and it included, importantly, street lamps. And as you can see on this map, the blue circles represent street lamps that reside in Springfield and which are in need of rehabilitation. over the course of the last 20 to 25 years, we've undertaken to try and improve the street lamps. These were originally under the purview of Western Mass Electric. But in about 1978 or 1980, they decided that they wanted to replace them all with wooden lamp posts. And the people in the community said, we can't do that. So Western Mass Electric said, okay, if you want to have them, you can have them. We won't charge you for them, but you're going to be responsible for maintaining them. So over the course of the last 20 years, we have repaired a number of these, and we're left with now 6 that are in the Springfield area that need rehabilitation. You were very kind a few years ago to give us the funds to rehabilitate the island that is the center of the entrance to Colony Hills in the Springfield section. And perhaps, Mr. Allen, if you could go back to the map, we can point that out.
That's the CPA funds.
The island. Yeah. The island, you can see the far leftmost round circle there, above. Yeah, there you are. That's the one that you gave us roughly $50,000 to rehabilitate, and it looks very good. The problem is, as you go along Park Drive, you now run into a number of street lamps that are in various states of decay. And so our proposal is to continue the process that we've undertaken over the course of the last 20 years and rehabilitate these. Now, this consists of removing the lamp posts. They go to a facility where they're sandblasted, repaired, painted, and returned. In the past, some of these have been so severely damaged that we've had to replace the whole pole. In this instance, we're not going to have to do that. We're simply going to have to rehabilitate them. But as you saw in that one picture there, some of the lanterns are basically held on by wire. Not this one, but the other one. This one, excuse me, this is good to show. This is one that's leaning. You can't really appreciate it. Okay, so here we go. This is the one that's held on by some wire. This is the most egregious example. Many of them are not this bad, but as you can see right here, if you go back up, please, a little bit. Yeah, stop right there. At the bottom of this, you can see that there's a significant crack there that joins the ring to the scroll. Now, this one happens to show up well. Some of them don't show up at all, and that's why I only show those pictures that are the most serious. But this will have to be, after it's sandblasted, it'll be re-welded and then painted and so forth.
So for our purposes, we're not CPA, we're the Historic Commission, so you're applying to CPA, so we wouldn't approve the funds. Our
Right.
purview doesn't look
I understand.
historically appropriate, or I guess more importantly, does it not look historically appropriate?
Right.
So our thing is, really, what's it gonna look like when you're done?
Yeah.
And then, we can kind
I
of.
should have taken a picture then of a pole that we've done.
Well, you had the one that looks like it's original, it's just made out of green, but.
That's one that all it needs to be, have done is sandblasted, repainted. To be honest with you, if we didn't have to take it down to repair the base, because you can see that it's at an angle, we might have taken that one and simply repainted it.
Go back up to the one that's a couple strips. Yeah, right there. Top. So that's more or less, if it was straight, they're gonna kind of look like that,
Exactly.
right? And they're gonna
Same
stay
color.
green, they're gonna be green just like that.
The same color green.
Okay.
We'll get the mold off, but it'll be brighter green.
Okay. Beautiful.
So, any questions?
Any commissioners online? Commissioner
Yes.
Hall?
No, I think they are, our determination is, I think we should make the determination that they're historically significant.
Great.
I think I would make a motion that we that we determine that these are historically significant.
Okay, thank you. We have a second?
Second,
Great, any discussion on that? So we are we doing two votes with this, one that is historically significant and then one that is.
To,
has-
if you guys are in favor of recommending the
Yeah.
project.
Okay, so the current vote is that the project is historically significant. We have first and a second. I'll call for the vote. Chairman Walsh,
Yes,
Commissioner Nardi,
yes,
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Dorsey,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cole is yes. So the second part would, I'd entertain a motion for a letter of support for the project.
so moved.
Second.
Yeah. Any discussion on that?
yes. I just wanted to make a comment that not
Go ahead.
only are they historically significant each in their own way, but
Yeah.
they work as a group, as part of the entire streetscape. So they need to be protected as a group, not just individually.
Agreed. Agreed.
Okay, any other comments on that? Okay, hearing none, vote for a letter of support, Commissioner Wall,
Yes,
Commissioner Bernardi,
Yes,
Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Dorsey,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cole, yes.
Very good.
Good luck in your proposal.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Appreciate your time.
Okay, your time, thank you for bringing it forward. Okay, next item is a, section 106 review for 665 Cottage Street.
Good evening, can you guys hear me?
yes, we can.
And
Good evening, Commissioner and Chairman Walsh. My name is Sandra Sheehan. I'm the administrator of the Pioneer Valley Transit Authority. And I just wanted to follow up to a letter that you received from the Federal Transit Administration for a project that PVTA is conducting or would like to conduct. PVTA received federal funds for the expansion of the Springfield Operations and Maintenance Facility in 655 Cottage Street in Springfield. That's our main operations facility for the Springfield base routes and buses. And so we are planning of expanding the facility. We're doing that in two phases. The goal of this is to decarbonize the fleet. So we are trying to electrify the buses and make sure that the facilities can support the electrification of the fleet. So the phase one of the project is currently taking place, which is the upgrades of 6 electric bus chargers that we have at the facility. We're upgrading that to 180 kilowatt chargers that will have 3 dispensers. So each charger will be able to charge 3 vehicles at the same time, expanding our capacity from 6 vehicles to 18. But this letter where we are requesting comments to the Section 106 review is for phase 2, which is to expand the facility. And as you know, this facility was built in 2019, so it's a recent, fairly new facility. So what we're doing in that is expanding the facility, the south side of the facility, the one that faces not Cottage Street, but the tracks, the CNX tracks on the back. We're expanding that by 50,000 square feet, 10,000 that will be actually 40,000 of that was to expand the storage facility, because what we're trying to do is add additional chargers to the facility. So the chargers will come from the ceiling down into the buses, and each charger will be able to accommodate 3 dispensers to charge 3 buses. So by the end of this project, we should be able to charge 38 vehicles at the same time. And the other 10,000 feet is to expand for the paint booth, a bay, an additional bay to prep the vehicles before they get painted. There's also storage and a training room. So this upgrades is what we are trying to do. The goal is to, in the next 10 years, to gradually expand and change our diesel and hybrid vehicles from hybrid electric to full electric vehicles over the next 10 years. So what we're trying to do here is to let you know that we have requested the federal funds, that the project is within the area of construction of the previous project. And like I mentioned before, the facility was completed in 2019, so it's a recent facility. There is no physical impacts outside of the facility, the area occupied by the PVTA. The use of the existing facility will not change. It will continue to be a transit facility. The project is to support the transition to an all-electric bus fleet. There are no properties that are eligible for listing in the National Register of Historic Places. This is recent construction, so there's no architectural or historic significance. The facility is not eligible for listing in the National Register, and this site is not considered archaeological sensitive. We are removing approximately 25 trees, like the ones that you see on the screen, that were planted in 2019 when the construction took place. And the expansion is utilizing existing paved parking and circulation area. So we're not doing anything on the front side of it. It's the back of the facility where you see the behind the flags, you see a parking area. It's on that area to the back of the building. I'm not sure if you have a top view of the site on the Google map. So we're just hoping that you agree with us that there's no impacts or no historic impacts to what we're doing at the facility. As I indicated, it is our goal to decarbonize our fleet, and we are doing that on a phase basis. And right now our attempt is to do at least 38 buses. So we're gonna get 20 pantograph and the 6 chargers. So the south side where you see the parking, that is where the arrow is right there. That is where you see the buses right behind the facility. That is the area, that green area, that grassy area. That's where the facility is going to be expanded. The chargers occupy space. So what we're trying to do is, because we have so many vehicles in there, we park 120. So in order for us to maximize the space, we are putting the chargers on the ceiling and then having the hoses with the electricity coming down. The buses can be charged on either side, the curb side or the passenger side. And so that's the extent of the project, where we are utilizing that storage space. And then to the left of that, I hope that's your left, it's also where the paint booth and the prepped area. We currently do not have a paint booth, and we do all of the work on the vehicles in-house. So we want to expand that facility to be able to accommodate that, and that will complete any work that we will need to be doing on the outside of the facility. Any work moving forward will be on the interior of the facility.
Is Berkshire Ave? I don't think so.
And I just also want to comment that we did come to you before the facility was built. I believe it was in 2013 when we were getting all the permits and everything. The construction started in 2017 and it was completed in 2019 when PVTA moved to this new garage facility.
Well, the question, may I?
Oh, of course.
The Chair?
Please.
Yeah. This is just an adverse, if there's any adverse conditions.
Adverse impact.
Yeah, impact. I don't, I know the area, we all know the area. I don't believe that I can't think of a historic property or building that's within distance of this, and I would suggest that there is no adverse impact.
Thank you. Commissioner Nardi?
So I have 2 questions. I don't think there's visually any impact, but I do have 2 questions. I'm not sure if you can answer them. Are you going to be generating your own electricity, since you're going to be drawing a hell of a lot of electricity for all these chargers? And number 2, if you're connecting to the grid, are you going to reduce the amount of electricity available for all the homes in the area?
I'm going to do the best to answer the questions. On the first, you see the flat roof. where it says Springfield Area Transit Company, we are installing solar panels to be able to store energy so that we could use that when the grid is at capacity. And we are working with National Grid or Eversource to bring additional power to our facility. PVTA will be paying National Grid with the funds that we receive from the federal government for them to bring additional transformers to the site. Initially, they're going to bring them overhead, and then the goal is to bring them underground from the two substations that are closest to Cottage Street.
That's good. And I asked the question because I've read other communities where something similar is happening, and they're starting to ration the electricity certain times of the days to the residences. So it could become a major problem.
That is not our intent, and we will
Of course
obviously charge the vehicles overnight as they're operating during the day. So,
That'd be great.
and we
That'll
were
help.
assured by Eversource that we will have our own additional power with the additional transformers that they're bringing from the substations.
Good. Thank you.
Sure. Roll, we, is this public comment or is this just for the board?
Just for the board on it.
Okay, great. There's no further questions for the petitioner. I would entertain a motion that the project has no negative impact,
No adverse.
no adverse effect,
Either to the site itself or to
the
surrounding community.
What elements so?
So moved.
okay?
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion on that? Okay, Commissioner, so we'll go to the vote. Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Zorzi?
Yeah.
Thank you, and Commissioner Kroll, yes as well. Great, good luck with your project. Thank you for coming forward, and have a great night.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate
I
that.
have
a question.
Ms. Sheehan, so are you looking for a letter stating no adverse impact, or do you have something that we should fill out?
Yes, it's usually Alvin usually provides us with a letter that we send to FTA, or you could send it directly to FTA because
Alvin
they
speaking.
wants to send the letter.
Speaking there.
Yes, I'm Alvin, yes. All right, so I'll draft up a letter for you guys, and I'll have the chairman sign.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Okay, last item would be public speak out. Anyone have anything they'd like to speak out on? You can have 5 minutes to speak. Good? Good for me. Seymour, good? Seeing nothing left on the agenda, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.